Yo,
You think there'll ever be enough recording of us that they can simulate us in the future, like create an LoZ AI?
I'm pretty sure they can do that already, man. Right now, like, isn't there the news that Google says? Well, some person on Google said that there's an AI that's sentient. I'm sure that sentient AI can fucking recreate us from all our videos. They have access to our chat too. It's like, man.
Yo, as long as Ezra's out there fucking committing crimes still, and we have shit to talk about, they'll definitely be able to recreate us. Yo, I'm on the low. I'm kind of losing sleep just knowing that Ezra's out in the streets.
Yo,
I
real
feel crazy.
real life boogeyman, man. Shit.
Yo, like,
and obviously, as we're talking about Ezra again, he's on the news. Welcome back to the Legion on Zoom. Another good episode. We're starting with the news. This is Miguel, joined with Legionnaires. Fucking as always, my boys, Rod, Ches.
What's up?
And so we're starting off right now, first, right, with our concerns about Ezra, man. What happened now?
I mean, aside from the fact that like he's actually like done being our Flash, is almost sounding like, I mean, we can start speculating who's gonna be the next Flash at this point, because it's kind of crazy. Like, he's done, bro. He's like finito.
I like that there are rumors that they're going to release it early on HBO Max because of all this. They're like, just to get it like out quickly under the radar and just do it on HBO Max.
Yo,
now.
I'm low key pissed off by that, because it's like this was also going to be the return of Michael Keaton as Batman, and we're getting our first like Supergirl Latina, Sasha Calle. Like, my God, Ezra, what the hell, man? What the hell? You're ruining it for everybody.
Yo, like, his insanity overshadowed so much shit is crazy. People forgot about the fact that we get back Keaton because he's out there just committing crimes.
He's some reverse Flash for real. Because I think one of the things that I remember that he posted, actually, because he apparently went back on his Instagram account or something, and he posted stories that people thought I was like taunting the police, like saying like you're not gonna find me, I'm in another dimension and shit like that. So it's like you're promoting the movie while at the same time, like, because he's on the multiverse, right? And while at the same time taunting police, like, what are you doing, Ezra? He is not okay. You know, all kidding aside, he's not doing well. Like, he needs help.
Bueno, the last I heard, he deleted his Instagram, so he's all off social media now. He's totally off the grid. And you, as a professional, do you think that maybe like the fame broke him? Because, for example, like before he became the Flash, he wasn't really that known. You know, he was like that comfortable famous. Then he became the Flash. Do you think like that influx of money and like all that recognition and all that shit just like broke his mind?
That's a great question. I'm gonna say I don't know really Ezra at all, right? Like, and obviously I can't professionally comment on him because I don't know him. But I would say no. Like, because it's if that was enough, then there's everybody would be having mental breakdowns and going through that, right? I think there was something in Ezra. I don't know what's going on with him. You know, what kind of either trauma he's gone through the past that he hasn't dealt with, or what kind of, you know, he's abusing drugs. I don't know what's going on. But something made him crack, right? So I'm like, maybe might have been some of the pressures, the lifestyle, who knows? But if it wasn't this, it would have been something else, you know? Like, this is something's going on with him, with them, and they need help, man. Because like just doing all these things, man, taunting, like that's nobody really like with if they got the shit together would be doing this. And so it sucks to see him, because you know we loved him in fucking the Snyder film, man. Shit, like yeah, like, God damn.
I feel like he's setting up a Robert Downey Jr.-esque return, like maybe for the next DC universe. I don't know.
So it's all like a master plan. So he's promoting the movie. He's walling out, all just to make a crazy return as a different universe's epic Flash.
Yeah, and the movie isn't even being like really promoted yet either, right? It's still some ways away. Like I just want to fucking see it at this point. I mean, it's been in the making for a long ass time.
Right. It was supposed to come out this year, but then it got before
Mhm.
all this craziness, it got postponed to next year. And so then we'll see what happens, man. Like if they just drop it on HBO Max, I would like to see it in the theater though anyway. I'm okay with them deciding not keeping Ezra in future Flash films. I think that's a good idea because you would like to have some stability in your work, but man, I do want to see this fucking film, man. Shit.
Yeah, like I definitely do want to see the final product, but just like you said, the way he's bugging out, I don't mind having a different Flash going forward. Grant Gustin, this is your time. Step it up. But anyway, it just sucks that like his bullshit has almost like eclipsed. Not really eclipsed because he's such a great artist. Or is he a writer? I'm talking about Tim Sale. I'm bugging.
He was an artist, yeah.
Penn
Artist,
Central.
okay. Like I feel like all these Ezra shenanigans and news has almost overshadowed the death of a great artist like Tim Sale. Like, bro, stop being crazy.
I know, for real. Just at least to respect the passing of the great Tim Sale. If you are not following us, follow us on Legion on Zoom, on Instagram, on Twitter and anything, and subscribe and follow our podcast. Check out our long Halloween episode where we reviewed both basically the book, which was awesome fucking book by Tim Sale with Jeff Loeb, and then the recent animated movie, which was also fucking great too. It was fucking
double feature.
Hell yeah, man! It was a surprise. He passed. He was in his 60s. I don't think they revealed why. Like what? But he apparently passed. Like when he passed away, he was like with his wife. So I'm gonna assume cancer, right? Like fucking, like I don't know, man. But
Yeah,
fucking
they say
sucks.
these things come in threes, right? Neil Adams,
Facts.
George
Facts.
Perez, and now Tim Sale.
I was just thinking.
R.I.P. to these titans of the industry,
Titans, man, for real, man.
masters of their craft.
Shit, I mean, one could say it's also like the passing of a generation of creators. You know what I mean? Like this was coming. Like it started with Stan Lee, which of course, like he was up there, so it was kind of expected. Everyone was like, any day now. Then from there, I felt like it's just been like a cascade of like a death of comic creators, or is it just me? Like after Stan Lee, it felt like it was like just more and more were just starting to happen. But I see it, like I said, like it's sad, but it's almost like we all knew that there was gonna be eventually, as much as it sucks to say like an epic phrase, like a wave of death. Like
some dark side shit.
Yeah. I mean, like
death.
Like yeah, like it's kind of what it is. Like as much as it sucks, it's part of life, but it's almost like the passing of the torch onto the new generation of creators, And like all we can hope is that they kind of keep pushing the envelope and just keep things moving forward. You know what I mean?
For real. So everybody out there, go, celebrate Tim Sale by picking up all his awesome fucking work, from the Batman Long Halloween to Spider-Man Blue to the other Batman's basically sequels, Dark Victory from the Long Halloween. There's a bunch more fucking great work. Daredevil, or basically all the colored books from Marvel, like Spider-Man Blue, Daredevil Yellow, like those. Because go read them right now. Go check them out.
Yeah, and also, as much as it sucks, just keep in mind, like, it's gonna keep going. Like I said, it's like a generational passing of the torch. I mean, like,
trying to keep us uplifted, man. Like just break. Remember people, but they're still gonna die anyway. Whatever book you're reading now, the person you love, he's gonna die.
I mean, because
word, unlike the heroes themselves,
exactly,
they're gonna outlive us.
Yo, for real.
I mean, if you think about it, they kind of went through that, but with like older creators. You know what I mean? It's people that we can't even name. Like your Tim Sales and your like all these other people. Like that Rod had named. I can't pull up the names right away.
George Perez, Neil Adams,
Yeah, the people that came before them.
They dealt with the
Eisner.
deaths of like an Eisner and shit like that. Like it's part of like the craft. It happens. But right now, I feel like we happen to be in an age where when someone passes, everyone knows at the same time. You know what I mean? Like it hurts more. So it's like when someone passes, and it's gonna keep happening. Like it's wild. But all we can do is just keep hoping for the best.
For real. And keep enjoying all the new content that keeps coming out, because it's honestly a fucking great time to be alive, to be a comic book fucking lover, right? And so we'll see these awesome creations move on, live on in film and other things. And so from that, we've started with some somber news, right? But we got to respect himself. And then just quick update on Ezra, but we got some exciting news, right? Because actually, first of all, just off the bat, right? Joker 2's confirmed, right? So we had that big reveal that Todd Phillips was reading a script as well as Joaquin Phoenix. So Joker 2 is fucking happening. So that was in and of itself exciting to see. But then they basically, right after that fucking news came out, we got the news that strong speculation that Lady Gaga is gonna be Harley Quinn, and that the movie is gonna be like a musical or something. All right, thoughts, gents. What do you think?
Yeah, that shit was wild. I was fucking shocked. Like, that made no sense to me. The one thing I remember after Joker, like had premiered and had a ton of accolades and shit, it was like, oh, are we gonna get a sequel? But it was supposed to be like such an artsy film that like a sequel was doubtful. I don't know if you guys like remember the chatter, like, are we gonna get a sequel? Are we not gonna get a sequel? You know what I mean? And even like the director was like, oh, I don't know. It was such a wonderful film and it felt complete. They smacked him with that bag of money. He was like, yo, how about Lady Gaga and some songs?
Yeah.
He probably bought like one too many houses off of all the millions he made from the movie, and he's like, wait, I can buy more if I make a second movie. Oh yeah, I'm like, he's like, probably has cousins and need houses. I'll fucking do it, because even if it's a bad movie, it's gonna make money, for real. Rod, thoughts?
No, I feel like even if it's bad, which is highly unlikely given the first one, I mean, it might take a huge nosedive, but I highly doubt it given the people that are behind it, including Lady Gaga, which I think makes all the sense to
explain
Lady Gaga with one of the most popular female comic book characters. Like, and if it's gonna be a musical, who else could you have? I'm wondering if it was designed for her to be Harley Quinn.
Or how about we don't make it a musical? We don't design it around Gaga, and we don't cast Gaga.
Yeah, it'll just be more like of that staircase scene with music and dancing. This time we're gonna get like more performances. Fuck, man. I think it's a fucking great idea, and I bet
that sounds horrible.
Good. And I wouldn't be surprised if it becomes an actual Broadway musical after that shit or something like that, like a reverse Hamilton kind of deal.
Simone, yeah, or like a reverse In the Heights, and
it's gonna be that kind of movie, right? Which, I mean, fuck, I'd pre-order my ticket right now if I could.
But like, I'm with you, Rod. I'm not a big fan of musicals, right? Like, we've all talked about In the Heights before. Like, we all fucking loved it. But I'm not a fan of musicals. I'm really not. Hamilton and In the Heights were basically the only ones I've enjoyed. Yep. I would be excited about this because I also think it's gonna be a dark musical. Like, it's not gonna be like In the Heights, like just like fucking all happy and talking,
and numbers,
exactly.
Choreography and shit.
Exactly, dancing on the street and like but in a very happy way. Like, it's gonna be fucking crazy shit, because we saw Todd Phillips' Joker film was fucking dark. Like, I doubt that he's just gonna go fucking 180 and go like, I'm gonna go happy as fuck. No, like, it's still gonna be dark, and so I think that's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be a really cool experiment, because I don't think it's going to be a full musical. No, I can see it being a little mix of whatever, both things. Yeah. Like, maybe as Joker gets more crazy or hallucinates more, we'll see musical numbers. No, because we saw, like, I remember, I don't know, have you guys saw Legion? there was a few episodes on Legion back in the day, and the FX show was great. He's obviously psychotic, and he would have musicals that he would see, and it was fucking dope though, because he was weird as fuck, man.
It's funny that you mentioned that, because I was actually thinking a little bit older. I don't know if you guys watch Scrubs.
Yeah,
there was an episode where a patient, she had like a weird mental condition where all she heard was musicals. Everything was, like a whole like song and dance number, and they were trying to figure out what was wrong with her. And of course, eventually, Dr. Cox, like he came to the rescue, as he always did, because he's the fucking man. It's one of the best characters ever. And a shout out to Scrubs, one of the best fucking shows ever. But yeah, like I can inspired by that episode, it being part of like the mental illness that the Joker's struggling with, and then he meets Harley Quinn, who's also breaking down. I can see like or who's always been on the verge of breaking down. If you think about it, it's almost kind of like I can see how they can work that, but the way it's being portrayed now is like, oh, the sequel is gonna be a musical. Like that's how. Like, hold on for a second. Let's not call it a musical. I think they're overplaying that part.
Yeah, come on, because obviously, because it's what's gonna get. Because sadly, we live in the day of clickbaits, and so they have to have the thing in the title for you to go like, "What the fuck?" and click on it, right? So exactly, they probably just took one fucking sentence that Todd Phillips might have said, or some kind of speculation, and is blowing it out of proportion, and then assuming because Lady Gaga's in it. But I'm with Rod, man. I'm excited. I'd actually, and I wasn't excited at first because I wasn't a big fan of the first Joker movie. I liked it, but I wasn't a big fan. I felt like there was no need for a sequel. But now that you're adding Lady Gaga and adding a potential musical element to it, I'm like, I am intrigued. I want to see what's going on. And And I had this up right now because I don't know if we've talked about this, but do you guys know what other films Todd Phillips has made?
I'm gonna go on a limb and I'm gonna guess the Sweeney Todd.
No. He actually Joker basically is the most serious film he's done. He made the Hangover trilogy.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah. So he did that. Before that, he's basically done comedies. He did Old School, which I loved with Will Ferrell, and Road Trip before that, which with that guy, what was his name? The last name Tom Green, was it?
Road Trip.
Yeah, 2000, man. That's 22
that's the
years.
throwback.
So he wrote, directed that film. He also one of the serious films he did was called War Dogs, which I loved. I would recommend people watch it. It's a comedy, but also like a dark comedy crime story about a real story about people. It stars Jonah Hill and Miles Teller, who plays Mr. Fantastic, Reed Richards in the crappy Fantastic Four film.
Oh shit, I saw that.
That's like I like that film about like just buying guns and selling it to basically the other countries and shit.
Dude, I totally forgot that was the name of that movie until you described the plot. That movie was actually pretty fucking good.
I'm like, okay, Todd Phillips, you've done a bunch of comedies though, but they're pretty epic comedies. Like, okay. I see what you do with fucking Lady Gaga.
Yeah, but it's just like the whole song and dance aspect, especially after seeing like, all right, so Gaga's resume is what, like 50-50? Because she did that movie with Bradley Cooper, which was super amazing. And then she did that movie with Adam Driver. What was it? House of Gucci.
Yeah.
That,
but
shit supposedly got bad reviews, bro.
And I've been thinking about that because you've said that before, like in our chat when we did discuss this a little bit before, right? But I will say but apparently Lady Gaga has at least been respected for her acting though, because yes, when she started in A Star Is Born with Bradley Cooper, she got praised for that role. And although the House of Gucci film sucked, apparently it got really terrible reviews, nobody loved it. It's not perhaps per se because of her acting, because you just said it right now. They had Adam Driver, and he's a fantastic fucking actor, man. He's a great actor. And they had
that Star Wars guy, right?
Yeah, exactly. Kylo Ren.
That Star Wars guy? That's Kylo Ren, bro.
Yeah, I know.
I haven't started Star Wars yet.
Han Solo and Leia's son. Yes, that's him.
That guy.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
No, that's spoilers. Yes, it is.
I'm gonna eventually watch the Star Wars saga.
Because spoiler.
Spoiler.
Guys, I don't want to hear none of this. I don't want to hear none of this. I want to go in fresh to Star Wars.
Wait. As in like fresh from scratch, like
straight up.
I don't
in
think
chronological order.
Yo.
with no spoilers.
Yo,
So,
when you find out who Luke Skywalker's father is, you're gonna be blown away.
Spoiler alert here. No. Go ahead. Okay, I'm not a huge Lady Gaga fan, but I know she's a prolific artist, and I think she's this era's. You have your Madonna, Marilyn Monroe. It makes pairing that type of iconic person with an icon like Harley Quinn. It makes too much sense. Too much. I mean, and I saw some of American Horror Story, but before she was on it though, so I can't really judge that.
I've heard that her role in that has been really good. I've never seen American Horror Show, but yeah, I've heard that's another thing she's been praised.
I watched season 1 and 2. Anyway,
I saw the season where she started with American Horror Story. I believe that's called Hotel. It's one of the most indulgent fucking things to binge. That season, Hotel of American Horror Story, it's great. But the funny thing is, it's great without her in it though, because her character is like sprinkled in, like the way she's played. She's like the head vampire of some like super haunted hotel that's on like the Hollywood Strip or whatever, or like the Sunset Strip. I don't know. Or it's like the Hollywood Hotel on the Sunset Strip, I think. I don't know. But anyway.
Look, and I agree with what Rod said too right now, because like, look, I'm not a fan of Lady Gaga's music either, man. Like, come on, we're all fucking more rock people, shit. Like, some pop stuff will be fine. I think I can hum some of her songs, but I will say though, she is a well-respected musician. She is an artist. She does.
Yeah, I've heard that.
She's creative at what she does, man. And like, yeah, she is like, I think this generation's Madonna. No,
what if
like,
she wins an Oscar for Harley Quinn? You heard it here first, people. I feel like this is gonna be. I don't know. I'm gonna eat this movie up. I'm sold.
I mean, yeah, like,
she could have been like playing a whole other character, like Duela Den or something random, and I still would have been like, let's go. But pairing her with Harley Quinn, a character that I can't get enough of right now, is just fucking perfect. Give me more Batman content.
Yes.
Except for that fucking CW shit. Don't give me all the Batman content. Give me like good stuff with Lady Gaga, Joaquin Phoenix, fucking top shelf DC.
Not to get random kids.
Yeah. I don't know about Ezra. I'm mad that Ezra isn't being top shelf DC, man. What's going on? Yo, Marvel, the MCU has not had one person that's like a mess like this, right?
Nah. Yo, that's a great point.
Bro.
Yo, all right. Good question. Who has come the closest to even a scandal?
Bro, they're all like good. They're good people. Salt of the earth actors at the Marvel Studios.
You're like, do these people get screened psychologically before they're offered a Marvel?
For real. For real.
The most trouble would either be Ed Norton, right? Because apparently he didn't like play ball well, but either way,
he's not. Go.
Yeah, no, I was gonna either way. His movie didn't necessarily fall under like the pure Marvel Studios umbrella. There was some Universal involvement, and then
there was like a bunch of legal shit, like technically, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, Terrence. Because I will say, because at least like, look, I guess from what I've heard psychologically from the news, whatever I can read, right? Because Ed Norton, I guess, seems well. Like, I haven't heard like fucking drama about Ed Norton. Maybe just that he might be an intense, fucking artiste, right? Which is all right, whatever. No, he's a fucking great actor, right? But then for
Rogan.
But Terrence Howard though, he I did hear about that he was a little bit more like that there's something unstable there, and it might be, even I think from what I've heard from the show he had, Empire was it? I think that there's stuff. So that might be the closest thing to somebody being potentially problematic, but then they switched them out with Don Cheadle, which is fucking a godsend. He's awesome.
And even then, we got to stretch it to come anywhere near.
Yeah,
like,
the only person that I came up with that's not even, it's like adjacent to Marvel, it's Disney owned. It's Gina Carano from The Mandalorian, Star Wars. Like, she's so it's not even Marvel, right? But it's Disney. so it's still the same house, but not really.
It's Marvel
man.
adjacent. And
Yeah.
even that, technically, the whole issue, like with Gina Carano, wasn't that
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
All she did was,
just
I mean,
red or something, right? She's like a red state person or something.
no, I mean,
Yeah,
aside
she's
from that,
super right. Yeah, and it's just like pro-Trump and like against vaccines. I think she was posting stuff about not getting vaccinated, and I think that's kind of what got people
Yeah.
like, all right, we gotta calm you down. Before her though, I did think we sort of, but in a stupid fucking way, James Gunn, got canceled, quote unquote, right?
Yeah. That would be the
Facts.
closest. Yeah, because he actually got ousted for like half a second.
Yeah.
He flirted with DC, bringing that top shelf quality to DC, and they're like, whoa, don't take our guy, because fucking James Gunn, when it comes to the content that we love, he's one of the best creators out there.
facts, dude. Yo, and I believe like I went on a rant about that in a past episode. That like it was one of the best examples of money talks. Because even with that whole James Gunn shit, if he wasn't so brilliant, he would have been done. But then it's like all that principle shit, the sheer amount of money that James Gunn can bring you, like just oodles, bags of disgusting cash, like here.
Nah, but I think it's an example of both. I think it's an example of that, and it's also an example of like where the woke culture, quote unquote, right, goes wrong, right? Where
it has
like
limits.
they canceled him for stupid shit, and stuff that he owned up to, like stupid tweets. He posted stupid tweets, stupid photos of his when he was much younger, and he owned up to it, and he said, "I'm sorry, that was stupid of me to say." Like, who fucking here hasn't done something stupid that they regret when they're younger, right? Like, isn't that fucking one of the typical things that like from religion Jesus says, right? Like, fucking who without sin can cast stone or whatever. I'm not religious,
Yeah.
but that like it's like one of
I
those
believe
things
it goes, he who is without sin cast the first stone.
Exactly.
Like
Like, and
fucking quoting scripture.
it is Sunday. It is Sunday today, so
And
we're
it's
good.
Juneteenth also.
Oh, exactly. It's like, come on. So that's why, like, that was stupid. I'm glad, call him out. Fuck it, that's fine. But don't like fucking cancel him and kick him out. Like, because come on. And also, he does good work. So shit, man. And obviously, everybody loves working with him. Like, we haven't heard scandals like Joss Whedon, right? Like, everybody's like, yeah, he's great. Though. Even when that happened, I remember everybody on Guardians of the Galaxy were like, he's great. What are you doing?
Facts. And also, I just realized one thing. We're recording on Father's Day, so how can we not mention some good dads in comics? And especially with Juneteenth, like, it's crazy. So, like, does it mean more if you're a black dad?
Hell yeah.
Oh,
In America.
In America, right?
A black dad in America. So, wait, aside from Jonathan Kent, who's the dad we've heard about the most, but he's like blue collar, white as fuck dad. You know what I mean? Like, are there any other great dads in comics that we can think of?
Great dads in comics.
Sadly, the first ones that come to mind are the great ones that passed away too soon. We're thinking the Thomas Waynes, the
Uncle Ben
Parker.
Well, okay. All right, wait, hold on. Let's get technical here. Okay, so
Dude.
wait.
Alfred deserves the Father's Day merits for raising Bruce, right? Because Thomas was there, but briefly.
Fine.
Bravo. Yes, Alfred, man. Who was
like
taken from us way too soon? I guess.
I feel like that there's one
80 years or
something. Wait, by who? By Bane, right? Via cracked neck. It's
Savage.
one of the craziest panels in comic history.
Yeah, finally.
Savage.
I've said it before. I'm not a fan of the whole manservant thing, even if it is epically colonial and British and it has lineage back to. I don't care. Having a servant now, that's like, I don't know. It's weird.
No. But I have thoughts on that. I felt like that was more carried by Alfred even than it was Bruce. Because it's been mentioned a few times in the comics that he comes from like a long line of butlers.
Yeah.
So he sees it as almost like a knighthood thing.
For sure. Good writers spin it right. Yeah,
exactly. Right. Yeah. Like our boy Scott Snyder, he did a great job, and especially with the All-Star Batman book that he wrote that was illustrated by Jock, I think a lot. He had this really fucking cool story about Alfred because he was also fucking trained in fucking like what is it like the MI6 or some shit like right British. Yeah, because I think it was called the story was called like the first ally or something like that for Batman. It was such a good story. So Scott Snyder really gave us a good. But I agree. I was against the whole idea of a manservant, like any kind of butler. But like what you just said, Rod, though. But he was more than that. He was Bruce's father, though,
Oh,
man.
dude.
He was the granddad for fucking so many fucking kids, dude. Like Dick had a great relationship with him. Even Damien had a great relationship with him. Like I would have liked for them to find a way to either rewrite it or like another if they do another reboot, which is probably around the corner. I don't know.
Nah.
I miss Alfred.
Listen, if you think about it, it was great because of how constrained Alfred was. You know what I mean? Like it was great because he wasn't like how do I put it? He wasn't too forward. Like the fact that he held himself back, you know what I mean? Like I said, it was like this weird thing as far as like a knighthood. You know what I'm saying? Like he held himself to his role, but he knew who he was. He knew he was a father to Bruce. Bruce knew, like they acknowledged it. Bruce knew that he was almost like his dad, but it was almost like a necessity. Like, listen, we're fighting a war. You know what I mean? Like, I know what you are, you know what I am, but we're doing this. You know what I mean? I'm a crazy billionaire motherfucker who decided to take this path and drown all of us down this fucking wormhole, but we need some boundaries. You know what I mean? Like, damn, yo, like the deeper you dig into that Alfred and Bruce shit, the crazier it gets. But then, like, I feel like Alfred having those boundaries allowed him to care for so many kids, because at the end of the day, if he even opened up even too much, he would have took Bruce like in a legit way, which I think he's done before. Like, yo, what the fuck are you doing? This is like a child army. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop it. Like, stop it. Him holding back, I think like it kind of allowed him to be the Alfred to like a Tim and you know what I'm saying? Like Damien and shit, and even a Jason Todd, because you know, like like he wasn't mentioned, but fuck, like I'm sure, yeah, like they had some connection
for real. They did, yeah.
One underappreciated dad in comics that I did want to bring up, who I feel doesn't get enough shout outs. I think what was the name? I think it's Thurgood or some shit like that. Static Shock's dad from the cartoon on WB.
Oh,
never passed away. Was always a good influence. Like for some reason, I feel like Static Shock's dad doesn't get enough of a shout out. But shout out to Static Shock's dad.
I don't know more though. I got John Henry Irons.
Oh,
right?
yeah,
and Lucius Fox.
Oh, yes. All right.
Damn.
That's
That'd be more. I don't know.
Does Marvel have any good fathers? Because I was thinking right now, I'm wearing a father, but that's not a good one, right? You know, I got for people watching us on, go to YouTube, watch us. I got a wonderful Thanos shirt, illustrated but epically by Jim Starlin, which we actually bought at New York City Comic Con, which will be back this year. But he's a terrible father. He's a very bad father to Gamora and Nebula. And I'm sure there's probably another kid out there, but all right. So not Thanos. Fucking who from Marvel? Who?
Damn.
Good dad from Marvel. Oh shit.
Damn.
Like that didn't die too soon or anything, you know?
Like I mean, Howard Stark sucked.
Well, you said Luke Cage, but he like we had the kid's still like a baby in comic book world, right? Or something like pretty. No, not a baby, but like 5 years old or
toddler.
Yeah, at the most.
Oh, Reed Richards.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Reed.
I mean, absentee-minded.
Yeah, like he's
due to his brilliance, but overall, good dad.
I think he's the best dad that he can be in the circumstances, right? He could be better probably at being a dad, but you're right. Reed Richards, man.
Cable.
Oh, but
right?
to
that whole Hope arc.
Beautiful.
That was the whole fucking father arc right there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait. What about the all father? Odin.
He's a terrible dad.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, all things considered, is he like? I feel like, considering his circumstances, the man has to take extreme measures. because his kids are eternal, just like he is. So it's like you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, I guess.
You know who's a good dad? Salt of the earth American General Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross.
Nah, get out. What? How is he?
His
Good
daughter's
dad?
like a doctor. Like she has like 8 PhDs. He runs a covert operative team.
Oh wait.
To hunt his
wait.
daughter's boyfriend. That's what the whole thing's about. He tries to
I don't know.
kill
I was trying to do a
the
segue. I don't even know.
But,
No,
I
but that's
mean,
a good point.
wait. I'm with that segue, but you just reminded me of another good dad, and I feel like this is just like the live action version. I feel like Sam Lane from Superman and Lois is actually a good dad.
DC's counterpart.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Right.
I feel like that iteration of Sam Lane, like I try to hate him, but is like, damn, this is a good version of General Lane. Like, fuck,
Love him. Love
Why
him.
you want to hate him though?
Yeah.
I don't know. They get like his haircut. He's mad square jawed. I don't know. Like he's mad to get right wing head of the Pentagon.
Because he's a
There's some
military man.
biases
Yeah,
there,
yeah,
Arsenio,
some
right?
straight
So,
up.
as a person, why don't you like?
I feel like on the low he hates minorities, but that's just me. Moving forward, but General Thunderbolt Ross though.
Yeah,
Yo,
I think if
like,
Lois was
fuck.
dating a black dude, he wouldn't be too happy on the low.
Nah. Hey, see, you
After
see what I'm
a few
saying?
scotches, he'll be like, I don't know.
Well, technically, though, not the one from the CW, though, right? Because in the multiverse, he is, his daughter did date, what is
3D
it,
chess
John
you're playing
Irons,
right now.
and he was cool, and they were close, right? Because remember when
Yeah,
John Irons came to this earth, he went straight to Sam Lane. He's like, "You my bro." So Sam Lane is great through and
Shout out.
through, man.
Superman
He's a
Lois.
patriot and a great father, man.
Or at least that universe is Sam Lane.
Right. But speaking of, yes, wonderful segue, actually, because even it connects back to the James Gunn conversation. We're talking about James Gunn coming back because he made this awesome Suicide Squad film, right? We're talking about Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross, because now we're getting, Marvel is actually doing basically our own Suicide Squad film for Marvel, right? We're getting a Thunderbolts movie. If you've been fans of the show, been watching us, listening to us, you've heard us talk about this for a minute. But now it's great to see that it's official, that they are actually making a film. They have a director and everything. There's no information about a plot or if there's like, como si say, a screenplay written or anything yet. But it's happening. It's happening. Y'all want to explain what are the Thunderbolts for people who may not know?
Is there a difference between a screenplay and a script?
I don't know. I do that.
Because I noticed
shit.
because I noticed like you chose to use the word screenplay, and I've always wondered that, but I never wanted to ask anybody. But I figured, fuck, I gotta do it here in sound.
I'd imagine it starts the script, right?
Yes,
gets,
script.
Altered.
So a script
film
becomes a screenplay.
That's what I'm guessing without googling.
Sure.
Fair enough. Let's go on that.
Right.
So
let's take that as fact.
So the Thunderbolts they were introduced as like a new super team, like a new fancy, colorful, brand new super team. But then later on in that first run, which I never got to read, but I always heard great things about it. They were
I loved it.
the ex-cons. So go ahead, take it from there.
Oh yeah, no, I loved it. I don't remember who wrote it. I think it was illustrated by Mark Bagley, which is a fucking fantastic artist. We love him in Spider-Man. But exactly, it was in the 90s. And it was basically all ex-supervillains they were all supervillains pretending to be superheroes, which were led by who was the main the superhero name of the leader was Captain Flag or something like that. I don't remember. I'm looking
like
at
Rick Flag.
No, that's the Suicide Squad.
I'm like, what?
It's funny because you told me last time that character's name. He's like a patriotic looking guy. He's like
patriotic looking, because the fun part is that you eventually find out that it's Baron Zemo who's the leader of the Thunderbolts, and they're all it was written by Kurt Busiek and illustrated by Mark Bagley. And it was a fun book. Like, it was a big fucking, switch like that. Like, oh shit, they're actually bad guys trying to gain people's trust. And that's kind of how the Thunderbolts started. Like, and everybody was a villain that you kind of knew from before, like B-list people. Like I don't know. Like, there's like the evil Ant-Man, and he was one of the versions of here. Like, I don't know. But since then they had a lot of different iterations were actually like either led by a superhero like Luke Cage, trying to have them be an actual good team, or like led by Norman Osborn during Dark Reign. And we're actually also, again, like villains pretending to be heroes. Like Daken was Wolverine.
The Dark Avengers?
The Dark Avengers. Yeah, exactly.
Explain who Daken is.
Oh, no, you're right. That's not bad.
That's not bad. Like,
right. Daken is Wolverine's son. And he's good. He's pretty good now, but he grew up in a pretty fucked up way. So he started off as a villain. But yeah, right. No, you're right. My bad. That wasn't Thunderbolt. That was Dark Avengers. But it's the same idea.
Yeah. I read Thunderbolts briefly when they were all red. So it was the Red She-Hulk, who's Betsy Ross, right?
Yes, yeah.
Speaking of Thunderbolt.
Damn, there's a Red She-Hulk? That's crazy.
Yeah. I think she was introduced by Jeff Loeb and Ed McGuinness, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But
you're correct.
They had it was Red She-Hulk, Red Hulk. They had Deathlock, Elektra. It was like a red theme. And I thought it was kind of cool because it's just like fucking badasses. I think Deadpool's in there. So you could pull up an image of this shit. It's like the Red Thunderbolt.
Yeah, Punisher. Yeah,
Really
I remember.
cool
I really like that one too. Oh, and actually, I just double checked. We're actually both right. So I think it was a new Avengers book, but they were called the Norman Osborn's Thunderbolts, though, which had Bullseye as Hawkeye and all these other people. So there was a mix back in the day. So and I remember I read that cool Red Thunderbolts book too, and so there's been iterations of Thunderbolts, which either a mix of either ex-cons trying to be good or straight up villains pretending to be good or vigilantes, right? Like we said, Deadpool, Punisher, Red She-Hulk. But we're actually getting now a film in Marvel. And so we say it's kind of like Suicide Squad because that's kind of like the idea, like it's bad people kind of working for the government in some situations. So far, that's what we have for the information about this film. Is that that's the idea that it's a group of villains working for the government, which we've seen in the Black Widow movie. I think we saw it a little bit in Hawkeye too. Julia Louis-Dreyfus character Elaine from Seinfeld, she's playing Madame Hydra, right? Yep. In recruiting different people throughout, right? Playing basically the Nick Fury role from back in the day. So that's kind of what's happening.
So we have a U.S. agent.
Yep. I was just about to go on that.
Belova.
Yeah. Who else? Maybe Taskmaster.
How many times have we seen her? It's been like what?
Baron
2 or 3 times that we saw her.
Two or three times only. I think we saw her in Black Widow recruiting Yelena Belova, right? And then we saw her at the end of the Winter Soldier recruiting U.S. agent. Yeah. And then after that, I feel like we kind of like haven't seen her again in a while. Right. The other potential people that they've listed, because you said Baron Zemo, Rod, which would be fucking perfect because he was the leader of the team. And I think that would make sense also, right, with his idea of him hating the Avengers, him hating teams, that he would make his own team to try to fuck it up. I can see that working. The other people that they've listed as potential is Ghost, who was the villain in the second Ant-Man film, which I think that'd be kind of cool. Also, the Abomination, which we saw the Abomination fighting Wong, kind of like almost in a friendly match in the Shang-Chi film. And we saw Abomination played by Tim Roth again in the trailer for She-Hulk. So he's coming back. And then the last one that they mentioned is potentially Winter Soldier.
And with Abomination, at the end of the fight with Wong, we saw that he's in some type of prison. So he's basically being controlled by someone, or at least like being kept on some type of leash. So that's a total possibility. My question is, like, as the old saying goes, what is it? Necessity is the mother of all invention. What's going to be the necessity for the Thunderbolts? Like, who the fuck are they going to fight? Jesus Christ. Like, if the invention of the inception of the Avengers came from the invasion of Thanos and like all his legions, what's gonna be the point of creating the Thunderbolts? You know what I mean? Is it gonna be secret invasion? That's a possibility. Like,
oh, dude, that's fucking dope because that kind of connects to what we were saying. Because before, for Norman Osborn having his Dark Avengers / the Thunderbolt group, it led from Secret Invasion.
yep.
Because in Secret Invasion, big story, Skrulls infiltrated the world and they're actually posing as superheroes and in a way to take over the Earth. The point is, the story in the comic book ends with fucking Norman Osborn doing the kill shot. And so then Norman Osborn, for people who may not be listening, you fucking better know who he is. Green Goblin, the biggest Spider-Man villain out there. He's basically the Lex Luthor to Spider-Man, right? And he then is given S.H.I.E.L.D., where he changes the hammer and then basically creates this group. So there may be something there from Secret Invasion coming through that. I can also see it just happening from like the need, right? Like Avengers have kind of, some of them had died. We don't know what's going on. I can see the government going like, no. We have to have our own team that does our shit, our own bidding, more like Suicide Squad type of thing.
So it's kind of like how when like what's his name, Justin Hammer first made like the Iron Patriot, like it's kind of like that same sentiment, but with a team, and that it actually works when they first show them off.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
Great to bring back.
Yes,
fuck, bring back Justin Hammer.
Well, I mean,
as Iron Patriot, that'd be dope, man. Because in that Dark Avengers book, we had Norman Osborn as Iron Patriot.
Yeah.
Yo, that'd be dope.
Damn, you heard it here first.
The thing that irks me is like, I feel like they make Justin Hammer almost too much of a joke in the MCU.
That's what made it fun. Like,
no. I mean,
I like Iron Man too.
Yeah.
And I love that actor, man. Fuck.
It was pretty dope, too. But I feel like
I got it. Wait. I got it. Oh, Sam Rockwell.
Yeah. There you go.
But I feel like in the comics, isn't Justin Hammer like a bit more of a threat than they made him seem to be in the MCU? You know what I mean? Like
a little bit.
Just bring back Sam Rockwell. Let him lead that show. It'll be more lit.
And if I'm not mistaken, Sam Rockwell had a dope ass dance scene in the old school Charlie's Angels movie.
Did he? Okay.
Yeah.
With the Angels movie that had, what's her name? This
Cameron
chick?
Diaz, Lucy Liu.
Yep. Cameron Diaz, Lucy Liu. Yep.
Obviously, I saw that movie a lot.
I don't know why I remember.
Because you didn't even hesitate. The names that came in order.
Like, who's the Spider-Man writer?
Like
I forgot all those names. Great. Oh, Stan Lee.
Yeah, but for some reason, I remember that Tom Green was in that movie, and he had a minor role. And I remember Sam Rockwell's dance number in that movie. It was very, how do I say, Pulp Fiction-esque. It was very Tarantino-y. Bro, for some reason, I have a core memory of that.
Bros, speaking of core memories, bros and people listening out there, if you like Sam Rockwell, I highly recommend watching the movie called Moon. It's a sci-fi film. It's a fucking trip. I think it's on Amazon. I actually recently rewatched it because my wife hadn't seen it. It's a fucking great film. Also because he's the only actor in the film, really. So it's really fucking just Sam Rockwell being Sam Rockwell for like an hour and a half. And it's a sci-fi trippy film. I highly recommend it. I can't say more because I'm going to spoil the film. But he's on the moon. That's all. That's just what's it about. It's a good film. Maybe he dances a little bit too. So we'll check it out.
I feel like I'm not gonna watch that.
Yeah, not me neither. I'm at the tail end of the Sopranos beast binge. I've been watching the fuck out of that shit.
I'm gonna start my own binge just based off the fact that Rod had sold us with one sentence. How would you describe the Sopranos, Rod?
It's the fucking Italian Game of Thrones. Although people would probably say that Sopranos came first.
Yes.
And as such, it is the daddy of the Game of Thrones or whatever. But it has that same, deep, has many characters, like deep character pieces, spontaneous deaths that you don't see coming type shit. It's one of those shows, HBO. But yeah, good segue right here. We're gonna do a new segment. It's not really a new segment, but we're like packaging it in a new way. This is like catching up with the LoZ. So we want to know what are we doing, guys? Like, what are we watching right now? You know, because we didn't have anything big to review this week or anything like that.
Yeah.
So you know, let's just shoot the shit.
What the fuck is going on? Well,
So what are you watching?
I recently just dipped my toe into the anime pool because I've been kind of sick and tired of waiting for Netflix to make, you know, like a following up to the shit I was watching, which was Kengan Ashura and Baki. I'm waiting for sequels to that. What the fuck, Netflix? So I started watching recently The Seven Deadly Sins.
Oh, I've been curious about that.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I'm about 3 episodes in with wifey, and it's actually pretty interesting. I had it on my list forever. For some reason, I saw like some clip of some shit that happens way later down the line in one of the later seasons, and I went down like a Reddit rabbit hole, and that triggered like, you know what? I have to start watching this shit. And
what is it? What is it about? For those of us that have no idea, but I've seen it and it looks interesting. What the fuck is it about?
So it's nothing that I thought it was kind of about. Just off the title, I was imagining some epic anime with like biblical shit, like, you know what I mean? Which I'm into all that shit. But then when you started, it's essentially there was an order called the Holy Knights. They protected a kingdom in ancient times. Somehow a faction inside of them split. They were called the Seven Deadly Sins, and they're being blamed for the murder of the head of the Order of the Holy Knights, and that's brought a whole bunch of chaos throughout the kingdom. And then after his murder, they seemingly were scattered to the four winds, and they're wanted, and people don't know what the fuck they are. So there's this princess who's trying to find them, and I'm sure, like I said, I'm about to run into a whole bunch of different story shit as the story continues from what I've read, but it's, like I said, it's pretty amazing. And they ride around on a giant green pig with a bar on its back, which you can't be too mad about. It's pretty dope.
I think I'm kind of sold. I have to check it out, man. Shit. Rod, what are you watching, man? What you been watching?
Right,
besides
so
Sopranos, besides the
that,
Italian Game of Thrones.
Besides that shit, I finally saw the first episode of Miss Marvel.
Yes.
Nice.
I liked it. Definitely.
Yes.
So we could dive in on that. Very stylized, and it's what I expected it to be, but a little bit better.
Yes. Yes. Perfect.
I've read in some comments. I still haven't seen episode 2. I'm actually going to watch it as soon as we're done recording.
Same.
That those are Quasar's bracelets, and isn't Quasar the father of Cyclops? Like I said, I read this randomly in a comment.
No.
Nah, you're combining
Corsair.
2 characters.
Corsair.
Corsair. No, Corsair.
Oh, dead ass. Those are his gauntlets.
No.
I didn't know that deep cut shit.
Like I said, I read that in a random comment while I was doing some diving.
Either verify or deny this. What's going on?
I haven't heard anything about that, but that would be interesting. It would be a little weird though, because Quasar, who is Wendell Bond, his real name, he's given the quantum bands. That's what he wears, and I don't remember correctly, but I think it has something to do with Eternals and Kree. I don't remember the backstory behind them. So that kind of connects, right? Because Miss Marvel's originals, you know, she's connecting to Captain Marvel, has a Kree background. But quantum bands, the quantum bands, actually, technically, the quantum bands were originally worn by the original Captain Marvel, who was a Kree fucking epic, you know, hero, who's been basically the only hero that's never come back from death, because he died from cancer. Because I guess that's the only thing you can cure.
Cancer.
Yo.
You can't unwrite cancer.
Yo, and even Kree, right? This is Kree cancer. Like, he's not even human. It's some other shit, man. And
what the fuck was the cancer verse that you said last time? Where was that from? That shit is wild, bro.
I'm not fucking with.
I highly recommend, because Dan Abnett and Andy Lanning recreated the cosmic Marvel universe. Like, if you love the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, you owe that to DNA, to Dan Abnett and Andy Lanning, because they wrote fucking the New Guardians of the Galaxy book, and they wrote so many, the Annihilation cosmic epic, which is one of the best epics out there. And so the thing is, that was the third one, because there was Annihilation Conquest, and then led to Thanos Imperative. Damn. Thanos Imperative came from, there was a story from before that, War of Kings, where Vulcan, one of the third Summers brother, he's actually going back to Corsair. He's the son of Corsair, Cyclops' father. Got into a fist fight with fucking Black Bolt, the Inhuman King. Broke fucking space and time. Opened a tear in space and time that connected it to the Cancer verse
via fist fight.
Which is this really weird verse, which is kind of like a cancer where like nothing dies and everything just gets replicating, but it's also like a mirror, like you're thinking like the dark multiverse in the DC Comics now, where it's like a mirror version of our unit of the 616, where everybody's like an evil person. And so that's what the Cancer verse was, that where the Thanos Imperative story was about, which is a good story. Anyway, going back to Miss Marvel,
kind of connected.
That shit was a rabbit hole.
But it came back. It came right back to the
But the thing is, so the bands would make sense because Captain Marvel, the original Captain Marvel, the guy Captain Marvel had the quantum bands. I think he passed them down to Wendell Bond, who became Quasar, and then Captain Marvel. Carol Danvers was Miss Marvel, then Captain Marvel. And so that might make sense, but my only concern is that the quantum men are supposedly to be very epic. They're be super powerful fucking weapons. And Miss Marvel in the comic books really has fucking almost like Mr. Fantastic's powers, no? Like a little bit different.
Well, I mean,
that was the biggest surprise for me watching this. Her power manifestation. I was not expecting that, and I thought it was cool. I thought it was different. I thought that maybe they want to save the whole stretchy thing for maybe Reed Richards proper.
Yep, I was about to say that.
Not the one that got obliterated. So I thought I enjoyed the first episode. I immediately compared it because this whole episode we've been talking about counterpart stories between DC and Marvel, and I'm a big Stargirl fan, so I'm thinking like, okay, this is gonna be kind of like Stargirl-esque. But it might even be a little better, but I don't want to overpraise it. I am a jaded viewer. After the first episode of Moon Knight, after he beats the fucking demon's ass and walks out, and you're like, oh my God. Like the hierarchy of power has changed in the MCU type shit. But nah. Anyway, we refer back to that episode for a full review on Moon Knight.
Yeah, and also don't jinx Black Adam.
Yeah.
Because we got high hopes for that. Well, sure. I mean, her powers with those bracelets have been referenced to be quote unquote quantum based. So already we're like on that path. And
so I guess the only thing they might, because I do remember reading an article about Kevin Feige saying that yes, that her powers are going to be different and her origin is different from the book, right? So obviously, because he said the context is different, right? So for people out there who were fans of the book, you'll know, because in the book, right, she's an Inhuman, but she's one of the Inhumans that weren't, for those who may not know, right, Inhumans are a combination of Kree and human who were manipulated by Kree technology back in the day. But apparently there was a big group of Inhuman people who had ancestry with Inhuman shit who were not like in the Inhuman culture, who just lived a normal life. And then in this big event by actually Jonathan Hickman, was a pretty cool. Well, no, what's Jonathan Hickman? I don't. Yeah, wasn't it in the?
I was trying to think of the storyline too.
Infinity, what? Right? It wasn't an Infinity storyline that led to the Terrigen mist blowing all over the world.
Wave.
Exactly, right? Because Inhumans, as the contrary to X-Men, right? Because mutants just become mutants like when they hit puberty. But for Inhumans, you have to go through this process called Terrigenesis, where you're exposed to these crystals that give you activate your Inhuman latent power. In the book, they had this Terrigenesis mist go all over the world, and so a lot of people who were latent Inhumans activated. So that's how Miss Marvel becomes a superhero in the comic books. And the power that she's given is to basically, como se dice, manipulation of her form, right? Like she can stretch, she can become big, she can become small, she can even become somebody else. So that's the power she has. So that's a lot to explain in the MCU. Like, how do you get to that point? So they
could just take it in a completely different direction, exactly as they've been doing, because the luxury they have with Miss Marvel is, I feel that even though she's an appreciated character, she's pretty niche. She's like not that big, so they can kind of take it wherever they want. And I see them spinning into like she's a fan of the actual, like Captain Marvel. And I think they're gonna spin it into some like intergalactic shit with her character. Because aside from Peter Quill, you know what I mean? They've kind of been lacking on that front of like how many people on Earth are connected to that whole intergalactic shit. So I think they're definitely going to use her and the bracelets to kind of bridge that gap.
And I think they're kind of starting to do that. I agree 100% because like they're doing that with Shang-Chi, right? Because that's what they did with the 10 rings. No, exactly. Especially at the end, they're like, first of all, they explained that they came from space, and that's it. They're like, we don't know what's up with that, right? And then at the end of the movie, they're like, it's sending a beacon to something else, and so this may, in a way, connect to that. And I'm okay with that because even though if you're a hardcore fan of Ms. Marvel, really, that's the only thing that changed, like her powers, like And they're still trying to keep her powers, like, because she's still making the light forms of her hand being extended, which is like her power in the comic books. But other than that, like who she is as a character and then the story around her and her friends and family is pretty much the same, which is all right. I'm cool with that.
Damn. I just thought about some crazy shit just now while you were talking. What if they make Fing Fang Foom into some like intergalactic beast? Like just on a slightly smaller scale than
that was a little bit random, or no?
A little bit.
It's still on brand. Like we're still with like
no.
Elaborate or explain more. Like
no.
Where'd you get Fing Fang Foom? Who's Fing Fang Foom for people out there may not know?
Because as soon as you mentioned Shang-Chi and the fact that the 10 rings come from space, Fing Fang Foom is one of the main villains for Shang-Chi, no?
Nah, I don't think so. But Shang-Chi
for the Avengers, like in general.
I don't know.
Because for some reason, I feel like the way they made like the 10 rings, they fit on like a dragon's fingers or some shit like that.
Yeah, I mean, come on, he's a dragon. His name is Fin Fan Foom or whatever. It makes sense why you think he's a Shang-Chi. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, that's a little racist on my part. OD.
It's a little bit.
Yeah. For some reason, as soon as you mentioned that, that got me to thinking like, because so you have the 10 rings, they're still out there. Then you have the bracelets. Like, what if they make the dragon Fing Fang Foom? You know what I mean? Like some type of weird intergalactic beast of some sort, in order to connect all this, like, I guess, like intergalactic bling at this point, so you can call it, because you have like the bracelets now, you know what I'm saying? They come from space, unless they're straight up magic. Then you have the 10 rings, which also come from space. So it's all pointing in one general direction.
I'm sold. I'm fine with that. I'd be down to see Fing Fang Foom battle both Shang-Chi and Ms. Marvel together.
Totally.
Yes.
Like, see, like it seemed random, but there was some slight interconnection. And for the fans, I think that Fing Fang Foom, like, I'm not too educated on the villain, but he's he's one of those like epic ancient like dragons, along with Shao Lao the Undying, I think.
I don't know though. I think I need to double check, because I think he's an alien though. I think he's like a being from just another, which is different than, because these are like epic mystical creatures, and I think Fing Fang Foom is just like a monster from another planet. I don't know though. Like I'm not really sure.
I mean, shit. We've speculated wildly. I've been kind of right before, so you never know.
We can see.
Yeah.
All right, but
I'm in so far. The show is good, so I'm gonna be tuning in, of course. I haven't seen The Boys yet. I know that's coming out.
Me neither. Yeah.
I've been watching that shit. Is fucking crazy, yo. That oh my god, that shit has been ridiculous. All I'm gonna say is dildo fight. Hashtag dildo fight.
Yeah.
Is it like the butt plug fight in Everything Everywhere All at Once?
I haven't seen Everything Everywhere All at Once, but after hearing the words "bud plug fight," I will.
Yo,
I gotta watch.
and for anyone that has seen this movie, I think I probably already said this in the last time when I reviewed this, but there's a dude that needs to be hired immediately to do stunts, to do stunt work for the Nightwing movie, if it's ever made. Because I know there was a Nightwing movie in the works, right? There's a director attached. I think he did the Batman Lego movie. He was like tweeting about it, and then I guess it was like a fallout maybe from the destruction of the DCEU, but it just like disappeared and shit.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but if they ever make that fucking movie, if you've seen this movie, you know it's that dude with the fucking. I think he has the butt plug. He has the 2 Eskrima sticks, and he's just fucking kicking ass.
Yo, all
It's a
right.
Nightwing movie.
Listen,
With or without butt plugs, we'll take it.
Yeah.
I
put
was
the
about
butt
to say,
plug.
I'm down to watch a movie about a dude with a butt plug and 2 Eskrima sticks.
Yo, well, you gotta watch Everything Everywhere All at
So
Once.
he has
That's
3 weapons at all times.
All right. Well, to round up what we've been watching, we got the 7 Deadly Sins from Ches. We got fucking Miss Marvel with Rod. I do want to share because I finally tried to watch Morbius. All right. So I'm glad we didn't talk about this last time because I've seen more of it. I've seen more of this than last time. So this is going to be a 2-parter because the first thing was like, so because we you know, thanks to a friend of ours, a good pirate baron Thanos in our group, we were able to get Morbius. I had it on my laptop because I just flew a lot for work. I had a lot of travels, so perfect. I'm gonna be on a fucking flight. What better setting for Morbius, right? And so on my flight back, actually, coming back home to New York, I was fucking tired, exhausted. I was traveling for 2 weeks where I was in 3 different cities, 2 different time zones. I'm tired. I'm like, let's do Morbius. Finally on my way back.
Did you ever think you would say that sentence in your head again? Let's do Morbius.
Morbin time.
More.
I was being referred to on the interwebs.
Exactly, because that's what they're referring to the sequel, hopefully.
The more Morbin, the better.
I couldn't get past the first 15 minutes of it. I straight up just watched 15 minutes of the movie while I was on the flight. So I'm uncomfortable, right? Because you're on a fucking plane. And also, I was in the middle seat, okay? I was in the middle seat. I'm uncomfortable. It's the worst fucking middle seat, right? And I'm watching this, and I'm like, I am hating this movie. I'm thinking, what if the plane were to crash right now? I'm like, is this what I want to see as my last thing on this earth? I'm like, because I had downloaded good stuff. I finished Ted Lasso on Apple TV. I highly recommend it. It's one of the best comedies I've seen in a long time. I'm like, I got Ted Lasso right there.
That's some porn.
I'm like, I can just in the middle seat too.
Damn, uncomfortable.
Just watch porn.
Watching porn on a flight. Damn. No.
Why is it uncomfortable to see sex? Is it anyway? All right, now go ahead. Ted Lasso.
Well, because I think
let's not go there.
Just the last thing to say, because I think it usually goes with masturbation. No, I think that's the problem, right? I think because if somebody's watching porn, because they're gonna do something, like.
But I think just porn is offensive.
Like, yeah, exactly.
Like you just play it in a public place, and you're like, oh my god. This heathen.
It's illegal. I think it's actually illegal.
Watching the most natural act in all of existence.
Well, I don't know how natural it is in porn though, but it is. Yeah. It is still. Like, anyway, I watched the first 50 minutes of Morbius at that point. Right now, when I was on my flight, I was like
50 or 15. You gotta clarify.
Yeah, word.
15 minutos, 15 minutes. I just got. The whole intro was a shit show. It was
doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
Damn.
The script is and then the guys, because I've seen I love watching shitty movies on flights. That's that's how I watch Josh Trank's Fantastic Four. That's how I watched Venom 1 and 2, Let There Be Carnage. And this, I saw all of those though, from beginning to end. I saw it all.
Nah, I feel you walked in wanting to hate. How can you watch Josh Trank's Fantastic Four and Venom, but you can't watch Morbius?
That's some like self-flagellation shit.
I thought it was worse. Because at least with Josh Trank's film, for instance, we had fucking Michael Jordan as Human Torch, right? We had
Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan, coño. No, Michael B. Jordan. Yeah, Michael B. Jordan.
No. Yeah, but it's crazy how like that one letter and saying the name makes a whole difference.
Michael B. Jordan. We had Miles Teller as Reed. We had the awesome girl from House of Cards as Sue Richards. Like, it's a good cast, no? And so at least they made me enjoy it. With the Venom films, those are really fucking hard. I do think, I don't know how I kind of watch them. I do know. For instance, for Venom, Let There Be Carnage. Carnage looks fucking dope. Like, anytime Carnage was on the scene, I'm like, this is fucking cool. And like, in seeing him fight Venom, I'm like, this is actually pretty fucking cool. But watching Morbius from the beginning, it makes no sense. For instance, like immediately when they show us a little Morbius in Greece, randomly, there's this American kid in Greece. When in the book, he's Greek himself. Nobody's speaking in Greek there. And then he has this kid that joins him next to him. That his real name is Lucien. But Morbius is like, I'm calling you Milo. Because everybody before you, I called them Milo. You're my third Milo or whatever now. And what I love, even the doctor calls the kid Milo. It's like, the doctor, I don't give a fuck about what your real name is.
Oh my God.
You're Milo. And he's about to die. And then the kid fixes him with like fucking something stupid. And we have bullies outside just making straight up bullies, just sees them in the window and then make fun of them being sick. I'm like, what the fuck is this? It makes no sense. It's so stupid. But I did think I need to be more inebriated for this. And so actually my wife agreed. And so we both got high. We had some wonderful edibles from California with me, and we got high and we watched Morbius. We got 40 minutes into the movie. So at least we saw more. At least at that point, my wife was like, I can't really watch more of this. Like, why are we watching this? Like, we've decided we may want to finish it to hate watch it some more, right? And just get high again. But because I told her we only got high. We didn't get high and drunk. So maybe we got to do both. We got to get high and drunk and just make up.
And you gotta keep watching to see like the romance between him and the sexy forensic lab lady.
The doctor that works with him? The lab lady.
A quick shout out to drugs for being able to uptake your crappiness from 15 minutes to 40. Shout out to drugs.
Yo, straight up, man. We watched it.
And you have to get to the end to see to see the nonsensical introduction of the Vulture into the Morbius verse.
Yeah, you're right. I do have to watch
it's that. So random that you need it. It's possibly the worst segment tied to Tom Holland's Spider-Man ever filmed. You know what I mean?
Just love that sentence. The nonsensical introduction of the Vulture into the Morbius verse.
Not really selling the movie, man.
Okay. Major props to Michael Keaton, because there's like bombs going off all around him. You got Ezra on this side, picking up his Batman swag. You got Morbin over here, fucking up your Spider-Man swag. But he maintains through all
this. He's out there.
Is he a dad? Does he have kids?
Yeah, he does.
I'm sure.
I'm happy Father's Day.
I'm his fucking kid.
Yo, you raised us, man. For real, man. Yo, but like, Rod, did you see Josh Trank's Fantastic Four?
Yeah, I did.
And you like Mormon Time more than
I would if I had to watch one again. And I'm not saying this to go hard. Fantastic Four was bad. Because at least it had hope. Whereas a Morbius movie, even if Marvel Studios has better things to do, like Ms. Marvel, but even if they wanted to touch Morbius, oh my god, like it would have been maybe passable with their quality, with their standard
Of course.
of quality, but Sony's handling it is just like a fucking mess. But I think it still had stylistically cool things to look at. I felt like stylistically it reminded me a lot of Blade.
Yep.
And I know fans are watching this thinking that Sony maybe has a backdoor to Blade because he's a vampire. Oh, they gotta put Blade. Nah, it's not gonna happen, people, because Morbius is part of the Morbius verse at Sony. It's a whole different thing. It's not gonna cross over with like Black Knight.
Yo, not get a Morbius verse. Shit. I will agree though, because I do, especially now when I got to 40 minutes, because that's when I got to see him become Morbius, right? The living vampire. That looked cool. When I saw him being the vampire and fighting and moving really fast and shit, I was telling my wife, I'm like, that looks cool. My wife just gave me a dirty look. I'm like, I don't care. I'm like, that fucking looks cool. that actually looked good. So like that made me kind of want to keep watching. But at least within those first 30 minutes, we don't get enough of that. Not enough to keep me going. I was like, yeah, I'm good. I don't have to keep watching. But all right, maybe tonight I'll do it. Fuck it.
I've yet to see it, but I'm hoping, as crappy as Miguel makes it sound, and Ratu, because Jesus Christ, I'm hoping that it's leading to like a bigger paranormal verse. You know what I'm saying? Because even though, for example, Rod, like you said, it sounds hard to get Blade incorporated with Morbius somehow until you start talking money. Because that movie was actually a massive fucking flop, and it got released twice. It got released twice.
And it sucked.
So hopefully it sucks so much that kind of opens the door for like another deal with Marvel. And Marvel's like, yo,
wait.
What? Yeah, does it make any sense?
That's reversed.
No.
Morbius would have done really well, then Marvel Studios with their plans with Mahershala Ali, I hope I'm saying that right.
Yeah.
And they'd play ball, but come on, they do not want.
They do not need that
with Blade.
Shit.
They got plans for Blade.
No, because apparently they already said they're already filming they're starting filming for the Blade film this July. So it's already on
man.
And there are rumors about a Midnight Suns type of either movie or show without Morbius. You know what I'm thinking? It'll just because they got Blade, they got Moon Knight, they still have Ghost Rider, you know, and so they have enough to do something epic in that kind of dark realm of like magic and sorcery. You know, they kind of gave us a little taste of that with the Darkhold and Scarlet Witch and the Darkhold before in Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. I trust Marvel, man. They do not need Morbius, man. Not at all.
I can't wait to see that shit unfold.
Yeah, like,
that's gonna be dope. If done
for some
right.
reason, I saw like the fact that it flopped as a movie. To make Sony even more open to Marvel, like, here, fine, use a character. Like, we fucked it up. And Marvel's like, you know what? Fine, we'll use Morbius. You know what I mean? Like, they want to make their money back on that character because I'm sure that was a hefty endeavor.
You
know what I mean? So it's like they'll be more
la,
inclined.
I can see them doing that, a la using Green Lantern in Deadpool, where
exactly.
joke. Like they could do that.
Yeah.
Have Deadpool versus Morbius or some shit. Oh my god, that'd be so dope.
See, that'd be dope. That'd be dope. But hey, shit, all we could do is hope for the best, man. Because damn, the way you guys make that movie sound, I may never watch it. Hopefully, I get to see a Jared Little Morbius in the MCU some way, somehow.
Don't hold your breath.
All right,
folks. We got this. We talk some shit. We love some comics. Fucking love you guys. Till next time, mofos. This is Chaz.
Yo, and this is Miguel. And out there, if you're watching, listening to us, tell us. Go to our Instagram account, Legion on Zoom. Email us at legiononzoom@gmail. I want to know if you saw Josh Tran's Fantastic Four and you saw Morbius. What did you like more? We're gonna have a poll on our Instagram soon and on Twitter too. So follow us so you can tell us what you think. I'll post it after we post the show. So yeah, go to do it.
And also, I want to know how it affected your quality of life after seeing each movie.
Oh, it got worse. But yes, tell us, everybody else, how you're probably.
And I'm tempted to eventually do like a top 5 worst comic book movies of all time. I don't think we've done anything like that.
Yo, let's do it.
I am down for that torture. That'd be fun.
All right. This is Rod. Peace out.
Deuces.
Peace.